Okay, so in this video we are doing about how to construct stem and leaf diagrams. These are sometimes a little bit fiddly and can be quite complicated, so we're going to do two examples, one with very simple numbers and then I'm going to do one with decimals as well. So essentially a stem and leaf diagram is just used to represent data, but it does save a little bit of time and you'll see why in a second. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is construct the stem and leaf diagram, and then we're going to do some questions as well of what they may also ask. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that the numbers that you have on given are in ascending order. So that means going from the smallest to the biggest. Now if you look at the numbers at the moment, they are not in ascending order, they're just mixed. So what we need to do is we need to actually put them in order first. Okay, so I'm going to do that up here. So the smallest number that's there is the 7. Okay, I'm just going to cross it out just so that I know that I've done it. The next one is 9, and then 11. What's next after 11? 13. And then there's 2 15s. And then 17, 19, 20, 21 and 25. Now we're told that there are 11 plants or 11 heights of plants, so we're going to count, just make sure I've got 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. Okay, you're going to have to do that quite a lot just to make sure that you've done it, because so many people know actually how to do it, but will make silly mistakes just because they've missed a number somewhere. So we're going to start with A. So constructing the stem and leaf diagram. So the reason why this saves time is because you don't always write down the number of 10s and the number of 20s and so on. So for example, we're going to have 1 10 and then we're going to represent these numbers on a separate part. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So we've got some numbers that have 0 10s, so the 7 and the 9 have 0 10s. You've got some that have 1 10, so that's 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. And you've got some that have 2 10s or 20s, that's the 20 and the 21 and 25. So for the 0 ones, the 0 10s, we've got 7 and 9. So all I write is 7 and 9, okay? The next one, we've got the 10s. So for the 11 one, we've already got 10 there, so to make it 11, we would have an extra 1. Then for the 13, we would have an extra 3 onto the 10, and then 2 5s. Okay, you do need to do it twice because there are 2 15s. 17, we've already got 10s, so that's going to be another 7, and then a 9. Okay, and then for the 20s, so 2 there represents 20. So that means to make just 20 would be a 0, to make 21 would be a 1, and then 25. Okay, and I'm just going to check that we've got 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. Okay, you do also need a key to say what it means. So it doesn't matter which number you pick. I'm going to pick 20. So 2 and then the line and then the 0 is the same as 20. Okay, because that won't always be the case. When we do the decimal ones, you'll see what I mean by it not being always. Okay, so for B, I'm going to do the range and the mode first, just because they're really quick to do. So the range is just the largest subtract the smallest. So the largest is 25 and the smallest is 7. So we subtract those and that gives us 18. Okay, the mode is the number that appears the most. So 15 is the only number that appears twice, whereas the rest just appear once. So the mode is 15. Okay, the median. Now to do the median, we can actually use our stem and leaf diagram. Okay, you can use the list there, but it's good practice to use the stem and leaf because sometimes you'll be asked this question and only have the stem and leaf to do it from. Okay, so what we're going to do is, to find the middle one, we're going to keep scratching off the first one, or the smallest number, and then the largest one. So the smallest number in this list is 7, and then the largest is 25. So I'm going to cross out the 7 and then the bottom 5. Next one, the 9 is the smallest now, and the biggest is 21, so I'm going to cross that out. Next one, 11 is the next smallest, and the next biggest is 20. Okay, 13 is the next smallest, and 19 is the next biggest, and then 15 is the next smallest, and then 17 is the biggest one. So what we're left with in the middle is the 15. Now a lot of people will write 5, which I totally understand, but don't forget about this 10. So the median is 15. Okay, not just 5. If it was just 5, it would be in the top one where the 0, 10s are. Okay, so we're going to do another one. This one we're going to be doing some decimals. Okay, and I have put these numbers in order as well, just to save us a little bit of time. But again, if it's not in order, then you just need to do that. Okay, so we've got 8 decimals. Okay, so this time again, we're going to look at the numbers. So we've got 5.7, we've got 6 point somethings, and we've got 7 point something. So on my stem, I'm going to have 5, 6, and 7, because that's going to represent my 5 point something, 6 point somethings, and 7 point somethings. Okay, and then when we do our key, we'll say that. So we've got 5.7, that's the only one with a 5 at the front. So we're just going to write 7 there. Okay, the next one, so we've got a lot of 6 point something. So we've got 6.1, we've got 2 6.2s, we've got 6.5, and we've got a 6.9. Okay, and then the 7 points, we've got 7.0 and a 7.5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, so we've done all 8 decimals. Okay, again we need our key, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to pick 6.1. So the 6 and then the line and then the 1 is the same as 6.1. Okay, because if we were using the other way, it would actually mean 61. So it's really important that we do our key. Okay, so that's another thing a lot of people will forget. Okay, so again I'm going to start with the range and the mode, just because we can do that using our data from above. Okay, you can use this, but all you're doing really is using the data above. So the largest one here would be 7.5, and the largest, smallest one will be 5.7. So then if we subtract those, that gives us 1.8. Okay, and then the mode, so if you looked at this, some people make mistakes. Obviously there are 2 5s, but remember those 2 5s aren't the same thing, because actually this is 6.5 and this is 7.5. So the mode would be 6.2, because you've got 2 of those numbers in the 6th row, so it's going to be 6.2. Okay, and then the median, we're going to be using our stem and leaf diagram. So we're going to cross off the smallest and the largest. Okay, we're going to do it in pairs. So the smallest is 5.7 and the largest is 7.5. So that's one pair. Next one, the smallest is 6.1, biggest 7.0. Next smallest is 6.2 and the biggest is 6.9. Now we've got 2 numbers in the middle. Okay, so normally if we just had a list of numbers and we had to find the median, what we'd do is we'd add them together and then divide by 2. So we're going to have to do the same thing here. So we've got 6.2 plus the 6.5, and then we divide that by 2. So that's going to be 12.7 divided by 2, which is 6.35. Okay, so that's how we do the median if there's between 2 numbers.